Boys, we have the lights, we have the camera, and you know we got the action because National Signing Day is here. Cam and Ward are here, or co-host Ward, co-host Cam are here. The boys are back. Episode 36 is in the books. Cam, we're getting old. How we doing, brother?
Well, it's not in the books yet, Ward. We just
By the
started.
time they listen to this, this is gonna be in the books.
But yeah, man, the FatKatz are back, man. Cam and Ward coming back with a National Signing Day and a Merry Christmas episode. We won't talk to you guys before Christmas. Today, 12/20. I want to remind everybody before we get into it, find us on Spotify and YouTube. Just type in the FatKatz podcast. That's KATZ. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at FatKatzPod. Our boy Wade has had a crazy day so far, Ward. I don't know if you want to get into details or not, but just know, everybody, Ward's had a lot of brain work done today.
Yeah, been a crazy day. I'm not going to get into too many details. I had to explain this 1,000 times. My background will be gone and different here soon. My girlfriend and I have decided that we are going to buy a house. So I've gotten pre-approved for a mortgage loan, and now we're just looking, man. We've 2 or 3 houses today. It's been a pain. I will say photographers are great at their job because houses do not look the same on Zillow as they do in person. But heck of a day. It is a marathon, not a race. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we're taking our time. We're going to see what the good Lord above has blessed for us here. So we'll see, Cam.
There you go, man. Congrats before you get it, and I'm sure we'll have another celebration or something when you do get it.
Absolutely.
But speaking of celebration, man, National Signing Day for all these high school athletes, man. Feels like yesterday that I was signing my national letter of intent to go to the University of Charleston. I'm sure you feel the same way about Western Ward, but want to give a shout out to all the high school athletes out there signing their national letter of intent. Also the transfer portal guys who are doing it. And we've got a friend of a program who signed it to go to NC State. We'll get into that later. But Ward, any words of wisdom to all the high schoolers out there going to college for the first time?
Boys, enjoy it. It comes and goes fast. Congratulations to everybody. I know obviously I have some personal friends that signed to the big Wolf Pack today. So just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Make the most out of your time. It's gonna be the best 4 years that you ever have. You're gonna feel like you're on top of the world. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Sit back and just don't let it go too fast. Don't take advantage of it. Have a great time. Congratulations.
Heck yeah, man. And we do want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I know we alluded to it earlier, but we won't see you guys till after Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all our listeners, man. It's been a wild ride these past few months, and we're excited to get into the new year with you guys.
The boys have been riding strong since April, Cam. We've been going at it since April when the FatKatz was born, and now the FatKatz is being raised. So we are at full maturity level. Well, almost at full maturity level. But Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope Santa Claus brings you everything that you want. I hope you also get some good gifts for other folks. But because Christmas is not all about giving, or it's not all about receiving, it's about giving too. So Merry Christmas to everybody.
That was a wise thing to say, Ward.
We
get into it,
happy early birthday to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
There you go. Happy birthday, Jesus Christ. I've got a tattoo of Jesus on my left arm, believe it or not. As we get into it, though, this segment, First Favorite and Forgotten. For anybody who's new, we go by episode number. So with today being episode 36, we're going to tell you guys the first athlete to wear 36 that came to our mind, our favorite athlete to wear 36, and somebody who we feel doesn't get enough respect or has been forgotten that wore 36. So with that being said, Ward, I'm going to let you take it off first here.
Perfect. And Cam, I love how you said there for any of our new listeners. So for any of our new listeners, me and Cam been buddies for a long time. I say crazy stuff sometimes. Me and Cam has to fact check me a lot of the time. But anyway, my first this week, Cam, and you, I think we all knew this. We've said Sean Taylor 30 times on this podcast already. So Sean Taylor, you get the third first favorite forgot, or you're the third time mentioned here for me this year. So Sean Taylor, college 36. There we go. Or I'm sorry, not college, rookie year.
Yep, rookie year. Reason I did that, Ward, we got some feedback on the episode. People didn't understand what first favorite forgotten were that kind of came along the journey. So probably going to start doing that every episode now. Now that I didn't even think of that, but now it makes
I didn't either. It's smart though.
But my first for 36 here, it's going to be Brian Westbrook. Played running back for the Eagles.
Yep.
A guy that I watched a lot as a kid, funny enough, even though I wasn't an Eagles fan. I remember my first year playing fantasy football, I had Brian Westbrook on my team. So first guy that came to mind was Brian Westbrook.
My first year playing fantasy football was like 2000. I was in 8th grade, so 2013, and my first draft pick was Tom Brady. That told you how much I knew about fantasy football. I won 3 games that year. But anyway, Cam, and
Not
great.
much changed.
Yeah, not no shit. I only won 4 this year. But Brian Westbrook, he used to torch the Redskins back in the day. So, and yes, Redskins for anybody listening, this is before the Commanders. So anyway, my favorite this week, Cam. I'm not sure if you remember DJ Swearinger. He
Oh, yeah.
was considered Floyd Mayweather for the Washington Redskins. He was our enforcer, hard hitting safety, and boy, don't talk trash to him because he will throw his hands up and be ready to fight. He now plays in the XFL for the Arlington Thunderbirds, I think what they're called. But DJ Swearinger, a friend of the pod. He's a dog. He was my favorite number 36 to ever play the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I always loved DJ Swearinger. He always reminded me of kind of like Ryan Clark.
Yep.
Came a little bit later.
He was a knockoff Ryan. He was a Food Line brand Ryan Clark.
Yeah. He wasn't. I mean, and Ryan Clark was an incredible player, and I think DJ Swearinger was awesome. But same playing style. Yeah. You know, the Ryan Clark kind of breed of I'm going to come down and I'm going to hit you, and maybe not the best cover guy, but like you said, the enforcer.
Yep.
My favorite, I think everybody's going to know this, the bus, Jerome Bettis. Also a friend of the program. I've got a picture with him from like 8th grade. Great guy. And yeah, man, the bus, one of the most legendary pictures in NFL history, running over Brian Urlacher at the goal line, Super Bowl champ with the Steelers in 03 or 06, excuse me. And yeah, just one of the best to ever do it.
That's awesome, dude. And there's another guy I have here. I've forgotten. He's also been mentioned about 10 times in this because he has a lot of different numbers. Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, he wore 36 for the Boston Celtics. So not really have much to say about that.
Yeah. My forgotten, and funny enough, we talked about this guy last week, which kind of steals my thunder. But Rasheed Wallace, he played for the Pistons, which if anybody knows me, the Pistons during my childhood were my favorite team, funny enough. They had Tayshaun Prince, who played at Kentucky. So that year they won the championship. I was a huge fan of them, and Rasheed Wallace was like the guy on that team. So yeah, Sheed. I'm always gonna love Sheed. He played with the game with a passion and an attitude, and I always liked that about him. So Sheed,
I love it, man.
Yeah. But yeah, as we get into it, first of all, you guys let us know your first favorite forgotten. We only get 3 slots, and everybody thinks differently. So let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, Instagram, whatever. Call us, tell us about it. We'll talk about it. But weekly game ball is going out. We got 2 apiece this week, which maybe the first time since we did it the first time. But yeah, Ward, go ahead, start us out.
Cam, I'm not going to say too much about this because I have a segment I'm going to get into here soon, but I'm just going to say NC State football for number 1.
Yep. My first game ball is going to go to a guy that probably nobody has heard of, Caden Veltkamp. He's the backup quarterback for Western Kentucky Ward. He's currently in the transfer portal. He entered the transfer portal early last week. Western Kentucky played in the famous Toastery Bowl here in Charlotte, North Carolina against Old Dominion. They got behind 28-0 Ward in the second half, and he finished the game with 383 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an overtime win.
Wow.
He's from South Warren, like 15 minutes away from Western campus. So, yeah, huge shout out to Caden Veltkamp, who I can only imagine won't be in the transfer portal for much longer.
Caden, congratulations, brother. Congratulations, big dog. And Cam, speaking of that, man, you brought something to my mind. I do have another game ball this week. Did not mention it on here, but this is going to be to my Western Carolina Catamounts. Western, as an FCS school, just have their second Power 5 win of the year. We beat Vanderbilt in basketball, and I can't remember what tournament it was, but we beat them by 2 or 3 points. I think we were minus 15 dogs. So shout out to Western. We beat 2 Power 5 teams this year, which is huge for the Catamounts, and they decide to get good at athletics after we graduate, Cam, but we love to see it.
Hey, I still watch them. I had a great time watching that game, especially as a guy who doesn't particularly like Vanderbilt basketball or their head coach. That was fun to watch.
Yep.
My second game ball, and then I think we've got one that overlaps here.
Yep.
My second game ball is going to go to the UK football fan base. A lot of NIL money's gotten contributed over the past week, and that was seen, like the fruits of our labor was seen. on National Signing Day, a great haul, and more to come by the sound of it. But huge shout out to the UK fan base. And then me and Ward both have here Ja Morant, coming off a 25-game suspension, go and drop 34 points in a game winner. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Game winner, Cam. Love to see Ja Morant's back. NBA dumb boy is what we were calling him a couple months ago. Is back, so good for Ja. I hope the Grizzlies turn it around because they suck this year. I haven't been following it too much, but they suck this year.
Yeah, and I think we're both huge Ja Morant fans. I know I've liked him since. Yeah, he went to Murray State. I always cheer for guys from Kentucky. So we hope he gets better. He is, like you said, NBA dumb boy. Like some of the stuff he pulled was crazy. But
he was my favorite. He's my favorite player. One of my favorite players to use in 2K. Haven't played 2K in about a year and a half, but when I do play 2K, just know Ja Morant, you're on my team, buddy.
Ward, there's a lot of tension on this podcast. There's an elephant on the Zoom call with us right now. We've kind of been sliding past it. First thoughts, Colby Covington gets his third title shot at 170. Doesn't bring his best against Leon Edwards. What were your first thoughts?
Colby got out wrestled by a kickboxer. If that just tells you anything. Colby got out wrestled. He got out struck. Colby fought off his back foot the whole fight, which if anybody has ever watched Colby Covington fight, he does not fight off his back foot. He pushes forward. He pushes the pace. Shot, reshot, shot, reshot. Don't really have much to say. I did not bet any money on this fight. I don't know what's next for Colby. Love the guy, but not a good showing for him. And then I really didn't care too much for what he said after the fight when he said he hasn't been touched, but there's blood all over his face. But I don't know, Cam. Hate to see it, but hope the best for him.
Yeah, man. I didn't talk to you about it until now on purpose.
I wasn't even mad, to be honest with you, after the fight. Everybody was asking if I'm mad. I'm like, not really.
When you watch something like that, it's hard to be mad. Like if he would have fought a great fight and got knocked out.
If he got finished in the first or second round, I would have been mad.
I'm with you. What he said after the fight was bad. I mean, there's no way around it. It was a bad look. He looked like a guy to me who was just fighting for a check, and that's never something I thought that I would see from him, especially. I thought he'd have a little bit more pride, but he's more of a. I mean, say what you want.
He's a show fighter, man. At the end of the day,
well,
he's not going to take a fight with this Shavkat guy. I can guarantee you that.
well, and I'll say, no matter what he did in that octagon, he's more of a man than anybody listening to this podcast because none of us have stepped in that octagon.
And he would beat the hell out of all of us.
And he'd beat the hell out of you. Probably not me, but definitely you. But no, I have respect for Colby. His career's been incredible, but I mean, that was a bad look to say the least.
Hey, speaking of UFC 296, how about Sean Strickland?
Dude, he might have won fight of the night. He might have won fight of the night.
Hey, Cam, dodge it.
That was incredible. If you don't know what we're talking about, Sean Strickland and Dricus Duplessis got into it in the crowd. If you see the video, Sean Strickland is sitting in front of Gilbert Burns and his son. He tells Gilbert Burns' son to scoot over and jumps off his chair and Superman punches Dricus. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. He won the first round of that fight.
Dude,
let me just say.
My TikTok all week was like, this is the definition of somebody that stands on business. And then you have to slide to the next picture, and it's just a picture of Sean Strickland shooting his fake gun at Dricus. But love to see it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how that would have gone for Sean if the crowd wasn't around. Boy, he landed 4 or 5 hard shots, but also Dricus had him by the hips and he had his feet up here. So but love to see it. I think that was fight of the night.
Shavkat, I mean, absolute dominant performance over Wonderboy. This guy's 18-0 with 18 finishes now.
Yeah.
Cousins of our friend Eric Brown, possibly friend of the program, who knows? But yeah, man, this guy's the real deal. I don't see a guy in 70 that can beat him right now. I don't know if you agree with that.
I will say I think Leon Edwards needs a break. I think he's fought two pretty tough opponents, or his last 3 fights have been against pretty tough opponents. So what I say, Shavkat, Belal Muhammad, go at it. Winner gets a fight at the belt. You know me, I cannot stand Belal Muhammad. I think he runs his mouth a little too much. Shavkat, I think, beats the hell out of Belal Muhammad. Shavkat hasn't really – he fought Wonder Boy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he hasn't fought anybody, but time for him to fight somebody within the top 2, top 3, and I think Belal could be that guy. So, but no, Eric Brown, brother, your cousin is the real deal, let me tell you.
I want to give a shout-out real quick to Wheezy. My Uncle Wheezy told me about this guy like 2.5 years ago, and I kind of forgot about him.
Yep.
And I always thought he talking about Hamzat, and he was just calling him the wrong name. No, he was right, man. This guy's a killer, bro. Like the guy can spot UFC talent. So shout out Wheezy, man.
There's another guy that's a killer.
Yeah, but
Literally.
yeah. Josh Emmett killed a man. Very possible. Yeah. Ward set me up for that one, and I kind of fumbled the bag. But yeah, Josh Emmett, man, what a punch. I'll say I was scared when they panned to Bryce Mitchell and he's seasoned on the mat. That was nuts to see. But Bryce Mitchell, I saw a TikTok yesterday, and he was like, "Dude, I'm totally fine. Thanks, Josh Emmett, for not hitting me again."
Yeah.
But a ton of respect to Bryce Mitchell. You come in on 9 days' notice to fight a dude with probably the heaviest hitter in that weight division, and not the end result you want, but major respect to fight on 9 days' notice.
Absolutely, and I will say that is the worst knockout that I ever seen live on UFC. It was, especially after the fact, he's seasoned out. Bryce Mitchell scared. I you know me, I'm a Bryce Mitchell fan. God, I did not see that coming at all. And that right hand he landed, man, that was the meanest. I mean, he threw that with every bit, and he landed on. I mean, picture perfect. I was just thinking off the top of my head. I think out of the top 3 UFC knockouts that I've seen live, that is one. 2, I think, is when Kevin Lee hit that head kick on that up and coming guy with all the tattoos. I can't remember his name. It was on that Diaz and Masvidal pay-per-view a couple years back. I think that's 2. And then 3, speaking of Masvidal, obviously that flying knee he landed on Ben Askren. But I think this tops both of those, in my opinion, that I've seen live. I'm just glad Bryce Mitchell's okay. And it seems like he's in high hopes. Take some time off, Bryce. Heal. We'll see you at the end of 2024.
Dude, I thought we were going to have a DeMar Hamlin situation.
Yeah, it was bad, especially when he started the season. And then the worst part is when he's standing up and Joe Rogan is roasting. Don't let him stand up. He doesn't have his feet.
That was nuts, man. That was a crazy thing to watch. All in all, I don't know if you agree with this word. Not the best card I've ever watched.
No, especially after the last 2, 295 and 294 were absolutely. I mean, all of them were finishes. At 295, 8 fights in a row were finishes. 4 out of 5 fights on 295 didn't even make it out of the first round. So, yeah, this pay-per-view was long. I can tell you that. And people needed their caffeine to stay awake for this one. But no, it wasn't the best one. Wasn't the best one.
While we're on UFC, this isn't on there. Is Conor fighting at 300?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm so tired of hearing about Conor, man.
Really?
I'm so tired of hearing about Conor. No, I've lost a little bit of respect for Conor over the past couple months, where he keeps saying he's going to do this and do that. And come on, man. You know, you can only say so much. And you know me, I'm going to pull for the Americans usually any day of the week. I like Conor McGregor, but I do think Michael Chandler does whatever the hell he wants. If he doesn't get caught. Michael Chandler usually gets caught, but he always everybody he's fought, he's dropped. And
dude, I'll say if it makes it out of the first round, I'm pushing everything I got.
Man, but I have no idea. I've heard some rumors about 300. I heard GSP maybe making an appearance. I also heard that one of the title fights on there is going to be Islam versus Jake Gaethje, which will be absolutely insane. I'm curious when Dana White's going to announce all these, but I can tell you right now, if Conor does fight, him and Chandler do fight, they won't headline it.
I bet I will put a lot of money on this. If Conor McGregor fights on 300, that will be the headliner.
I just don't get how they can put that as the headliner over 2 or 3 title fights.
Because it's Conor McGregor.
It is Conor McGregor.
The only guy in the world that's bigger than the sport.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't. He will. I just don't see how.
I don't know if you saw this, Ward. The only fight announced for that card is your boy Bo Nickel.
Yeah, is it Trayshawn Gore?
If it tells you how stacked of a card it is, he's on the prelims.
Is he fighting Trayshawn Gore? Is that the one that they?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'd have to look, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Good for Bo. Good for Bo getting the recognition he deserves. I'm really excited for 300. I wonder if they'll do it in Vegas or if they'll do it in New York. I would assume Vegas.
I would assume Vegas. I'm not for sure. Fight capital of the world, but yeah. Moving on, my Kentucky Wildcats got a huge win in college basketball.
Beat the hell out of Carolina Saturday
In Catlanta on the CBS Classic. I just want to give a huge shout out to my Wildcats. That was one of the most fun regular season college basketball games I've watched in a few years, especially one including Kentucky. But huge win for the program. That was their highest ranked opponent left on the schedule, so you kind of needed to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to my Cats. Shout out to Calipari. Ward, I had some doubts about this team coming in the season, and
You did.
they've proved me wrong, man. This team is incredible.
Yeah, and I'll say I want to shout out NC State basketball as well. Right after this game, NC State and Tennessee played. It was right during the middle of the UFC pay-per-view. Didn't get to watch it. I was following it, but we played Tennessee pretty good. We ended up getting beat by 8, but it was a 2-3-point game the whole time. We looked really good against a Tennessee team that is a lot better than us. I think the Tennessee team is good, but I do not think they're as good as everybody thinks they are. So Cam, the SEC should be yours, brother. I don't know who else is. Ole Miss is pretty good this year. Basketball.
Ole Miss is undefeated.
Ole Miss is really good. I think Florida's good. Arkansas is good. So we'll see.
Ole Miss just had a guy get a double-double award with points and steals.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How nuts is that?
That is pretty. Never heard of that before. That's cool.
Huge news in college football. Number 1 quarterback Dylan Raiola flips on signing day from UGA to Nebraska. If you haven't kind of read the tea leaves on the story, I'll break it down for you. Dylan Raiola has went to 3 different high schools in 4 years. If you didn't know that, he was in Buford this year, in Georgia, committed to Georgia 2 years ago, and Nebraska signed his father to be the offensive line coach.
No way. I did not know
that. Once that happened, it was pretty cut and dry where he was
going. Coached before?
Yeah. So he's went to 3 different high schools. He's been committed to 3 different programs in 4 years. And
I didn't know that. Has his dad
incredible talent?
Has his dad ever coached football before?
I think he was already on staff.
Oh, at Nebraska.
I think so, because they extended it.
Oh.
But I mean, blood's always thicker than water.
Yep.
You just gotta find out if blood's thicker than that check that they can write down in Athens. But huge development, man. It kind of got a sniff of it last week, and then it happened.
Good for Matt Rule, dude.
I'll say I'm big on message boards. I don't think Ward goes on message boards, but I went on a Georgia message board when I saw that, and there was a guy who real life said that he worked at the airport and that he would do anything to keep Dylan Raiola from getting on the flight from Atlanta to Omaha, Nebraska.
That's messed up, ain't it?
But yeah, crazy story. And like I said, if you've kept track of this kid, which if you keep track of college football recruiting, God bless you.
Yeah.
3 schools, 3 different commitments. Safe to say this kid might not stick at Nebraska.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, good for him, though. Yeah, I don't think he's going to stick at all. Good for him. I don't know where Nebraska's getting this money to pay him because his price tag is probably $4 million, $5 million. But Dylan, good for you, brother.
Well, another development is Kyle McCord from Ohio State was committed to Nebraska.
Yeah, he had a silent commitment to Nebraska,
and
he didn't announce it. And then
Raiola the Raiola buzz happens, and then next thing you know, McCord's
I saw all this stuff when I was reading on. So I don't read message boards, Cam. I read Twitter comments. So I don't know if that's the same thing or not. I like to read comments under posts. You know, the most popular comments are at the top. As soon as because Kyle McCord committed to Syracuse before Raiola committed to Nebraska. And then after that happened, everybody was saying Raiola's going to Nebraska. Raiola's going to Nebraska. And I was like, we'll see. And next thing you know, good for him. I don't know if this guy's that good. I haven't really watched him. I'm sure he's good, but is he that good? That's my question.
Yeah. Georgia fans, don't feel so bad. You guys did flip 2 5-stars today to Georgia. So not all is doom and gloom. Yeah. They also, hey, Dylan Raiola flips. Guess what? They bring in a 4-star quarterback.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Number 5 quarterback in the class. So they'll be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keeping it in college football, Ward, are you buying the Marvin Harrison returning to school buzz?
Hell no. I thought he already declared.
He hasn't. He
Oh, I
hasn't.
thought he
He
declared.
also, he also Ward is talking about playing in the bowl game.
No shot.
So, and there's my answer. I don't buy the buzz that he's coming back, but people swear that he wants to go beat Michigan. He's never done it. He doesn't want to be remembered as the guy that couldn't beat Michigan. I don't care what I'm remembered as.
I don't care how much
I'm
money
getting that 20 M's.
Yeah,
baby.
you pay me 20 M's. Like, okay, Michigan beat me. Cool. I'm making more money than anybody that's ever committed or any one of their wide receivers that's ever played in the league right now. So,
yeah. So FatKatz in unison. Do not buy the Marvin Harrison.
I don't buy that buzz at all.
Back to the Ohio State. I do have one thing, Ward, or two things actually, that will make you feel old. We're both 23.
Let's hear it.
Are you just turned 24, right?
24.
Okay, 24 and 23. So in the Miami Beach Bowl, we saw UTSA beat Marshall. The two quarterbacks for UTSA, we saw Owen McCown, who's Josh McCown's son, who we watched. And Marshall's quarterback was led by Cole Pennington, who is Chad Pennington's son, who we watched. That made me feel old. And if that doesn't make you feel old, this will. Devin Hester Jr. signed his national letter of intent to play for Furman today.
Yeah, the boys are damn Furman. Nice. Yeah, the boys are getting old. Cam, I knew we were getting old when I'm hearing about these guys getting drafted. 21-year-old, I don't know, 21-year-old goes number 1 overall. And I'm like, good God, must be nice, But yeah, we are getting old, Cam. I'm gonna see some gray start coming in that big beard here soon.
Hey, I already got it on my head, man. It's bound to come in the beard at some point. Last two things, college football, then we'll get into college basketball and NFL. Ward, preview the, according to 24/7, 28th ranked high school class and 7th ranked portal class that the NC State Wolfpack were able to haul in.
The Wolfpack is doing their thing. I'm not sure if 24/7 is right. So ESPN has State now, since we flipped that last 4-star, has us now at either 22 or 23. I saw it on Pack Pride a couple hours ago. But extremely excited with this class. This is Dave Doran's second best class ever since 2018. And obviously that 2018 team, you look at what we did, he had 3 9-win seasons with them. So we have 6 4-stars that are committed to or that signed with us today. We have 18 3-stars that signed with us today. No 5-stars, but those 6 4-stars are huge. And 2 out of the 6 of those 4-stars have flipped within the last 2 weeks. One of them today at North Carolina. He was committed to UNC, decommits last night, signs with NC State today, which is huge. Went to Weddington High School. He did win the state championship, so congrats. And also, man, we do have the 2nd ranked portal class as of right now in the NCAA. So something's going on in Raleigh. I don't know who's opening checkbooks or what, and I don't want to get overhyped because every year NC State is overhyped in football. We suck. So really excited for what's coming down the pipeline, and I'm excited to see what the boys do next year.
And we did talk Grayson McCall last episode.
We did, yeah, we did talk Grayson McCall.
Okay, so 2 guys I want to highlight in your guys' class. Friend of the program, Zane Williams.
Zane, shout out Zane.
3-star linebacker out of Wake Forest High School. And then one more guy is, let me find him real quick. This is great podcasting. Robbie Martin, interior offensive lineman, 3-star.
Yes,
Huntington High School, West Virginia. Shout out to the West Virginia kid. Like you said, Ward, the wide receiver class is insane. According to 24/7, 3 guys inside the top 150. Great class for Dave Doran, man.
Yeah,
putting it together.
Doran's doing his thing. We had 4 4-star wide receivers, which is huge for us.
That's awesome.
Huge for us.
And to keep
what quarterback would not want to come to Raleigh right now? That's my question.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like they've got the weapons, and Grace McCall. I mean, Grace McCall's a really good quarterback. I think this could be a really, really impressive season for the Pack.
We also signed a 4-star out of. We also signed a 4-star a 4-star quarterback out of Florida. And speaking of quarterbacks, we didn't have this in there. I don't know if you saw MJ Morris. He committed to Maryland.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that or not, but he's an idiot for leaving. Look at what he has coming in. Decides to leave.
He wouldn't have played.
Yeah, he would.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, but he wouldn't have played. Yeah, man. But I always say, like today, National Signing Day, you don't win games tomorrow with these guys, but this is where you win games 2-3 years from now.
Yep.
And Wolfpack, man, it's really looking good for the Wolfpack. They've stacked 2 or 3 really good classes together, and super impressed with what Dave Doran's doing. He's earned every bit of that raise, in my opinion.
Yep. How about
Moving
Kentucky? How the Wildcats do?
Yeah, the Katz, man, finished 25 overall in high school, the 9th ranked transfer class for a composite ranking of 25th in the nation. Just to highlight the class, the Smith twins out of Corbin, Kentucky, were committed to Michigan for a year, got them to flip during the high school football season. You flip Cam Dooley, a 4-star safety from Alabama that was committed to Missouri. You flip him today. You go into Westerville North in Ohio, pull Brian Robinson out of the teeth of Ohio State, he was a take for. Quayshot Scott, 4-star DB out of South Carolina. The Gamecocks wanted him, and you went into Gamecock territory and got him. Really fun class, man. Like even like a guy, a 3-star tight end like Willie Rodriguez, takes an official visit to Tennessee last week, and you still lock him up. Like you still get him on campus.
Yep.
And then this, to me, the best part of today, you get 2-time All-American, 3-year starter at Georgia, Jamin Dumas Johnson, to be your middle linebacker next year. 4-star high school recruit, 4-star transfer, the number 1 off-ball linebacker, according to every service. And I'll take all the Georgia Bulldogs I can get, Ward. So
I don't blame you.
Super excited about this team and what Stoops and company have been able to put together. And
how many did you guys have more 4-stars than State or not?
Let me count real quick. I count 5 out of high school and 4 in the transfer portal.
Nice, dude.
So, and I've told one of my group chats today, 25th ranked class, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
13th in the SEC, the award.
Really?
How crazy is that?
Wow.
So, in the new SEC.
Who's ranked behind y'all? The new SEC. Who? Vanderbilt and
Vanderbilt. I mean, there's 4 more teams, so I don't know. Vanderbilt for sure.
A&M's probably up there.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State.
And I don't know. We'll stick with those 2.
Yeah.
But there should be one more school. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But 2 great classes for your boys, man.
Yep.
Real quick, Kentucky-Louisville play tomorrow in basketball. Kentucky opened as a 15.5-point favorite, Ward. This is at Louisville. They have not even come close to selling out their tickets. So that might be a blue out in the Yum Center.
Let me see what it is. I saw what the spread was. I was looking earlier. Let me see what
it opened to 15.5. As of like 30 minutes ago, it's 13.5.
Is it?
Yeah. So Katz, I can't believe that got bet down, to be honest with you. U of L's been awful, but
I know.
Kenny Payne's
tickets as low as $60. $60 are the cheapest tickets right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, that place is going to be a Kentucky home game.
You think?
No, nobody in Louisville is excited to watch them get curb stomped.
Right now the lowest ticket is $70 or $58 is the lowest, and the one after that $77. So a lot of blue must be packing that stadium out.
You want to go? FatKatz from the Yum Center tomorrow?
Get see what Coach Cal is all about.
But yeah, man, that was a fun list of stuff to run through. We do have our NFL recap. In a miracle game, Bengals beat the Vikings 27-24. Or I don't know if you had eyes on this game, but what an incredible way to end a football game.
Hey, you shouldn't have effing cut me.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. And
good for Jake Brown and good for the Bengals are somehow, while you guys lose, the Bengals are going up.
Crazy. It's nuts. And I'll say the Steelers ruined my weekend when it comes to football. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't as locked in the NFL as I usually am just because of the hangover of what will now cover the 30-13 ass whooping we got from the Colts in Indy. Just putrid, man. We pay, I don't pay. The Rooneys pay Mitch Trubisky $4 million a year to lose football games.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky's awful.
Ward, the Steelers are 7-2 when Kenny Pickett starts and finishes a game. They're 0-4 when Mitch or 0-5 now when Mitch Trubisky touches a football in a game. How nuts! And we can't trot 2 out there. We can't trot Mason Rudolph
what
out
about Mason
there.
Rudolph?
He's supposed to start this week. Tomlin announced.
Didn't he start last week or not?
No, he didn't play. He played the last probably 2 drives last week.
Oh, okay.
But Kenny Pickett is trending to play on Saturday.
Oh.
So Mason Rudolph finally gets his chance, and Kenny Pickett might come back. So
Mason Rudolph might have just got himself a job, kept himself a job, which is good for him.
But I'm so tired of watching Mr. Trubisky play football. I'd rather us, tell Terry Bradshaw to come back at 80 years old.
Yeah,
it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on George Pickens and the lack of effort. It drives me nuts. For a guy to be so talented and not care about the game of football.
Yeah,
it really grinds my gears.
All about a check at that level, brother.
So with that being said, we will move on. I know me and Novak have talked plenty about the Steelers the past week. So Broncos get mollywopped going into Detroit 42-17. Novak told us last week, Ward, Jared Goff's a different guy when he's got a roof.
He is a different guy at home, and I think that Russell Wilson magic that was going on ran out.
So I did the math, Ward. If you rode with us last week, the Vikings and Bengals pushed. We both called Colts covering. I called Lions covering. I think you did, but I'm not for sure.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I had Cowboys winning, which we'll cover, which didn't hit. They got beat 31-10. They got dominated by the Bills. Yeah. And then your Commanders did not cover, which we both covered. Take us through that game, because that was an odd game,
dude. There's a lot of stuff coming around right now. So we got our ass beat. I mean, we're down 28-7 a majority of the game, and then Jacoby Brissett comes in, former NC State guy, and he comes in and does something that Sam does not do, and he gets the ball into his best player's hands. He doesn't throw that deep shot to Diami Brown. He doesn't throw a screen pass to Antonio Gibson. He throws the ball 7 times, okay? 6 out of those 7 times, guess who catches the ball?
17, probably.
Number 17. Number 17 is 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's the first 2-touchdown game that he has ever had in Washington. And all you got to do is get the man the ball. Give him a chance. If he's in one-on-one, give him a jump ball. He's going to catch it. And it happened. There's a reason why we pay this guy all this money, get him the ball. But I will say, at this point, Jacoby Brissett came in the last 2 drives of the game. Half of the Rams backups were out there, and he did dice them up, I will say. But Sam's still the guy. Sam, I'm still riding with you, brother. But I think this is good. It lights a fire under his ass. It says there's somebody on your back burner. Come in and play ball. There's only 2 weeks left anyway, or 3 weeks left anyway. So I don't know.
Ward, you told me last week if Drake May or Caleb Williams
Caleb Williams, we can have a possible conversation about Drake May's ass. Hell no. I wouldn't take Drake May as Mr. Irrelevant. I would take that linebacker out of Western Carolina.
So you still think 14's the guy, though?
I do. 14 had a hell of a start to the season. He had a hell of a first half of the season. Second half has been a little iffy, I will say. We are, as of right now, our offensively, we're the 30. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I'm asking because last week you said no matter what, 14's the guy. Like, if Caleb Williams is there at 3, you're not taking him. I just want to make sure.
14 is still the guy. See, okay. And this is I read something, Cam, and this is how it's going to be. All right, so pretend that the Redskins are Sam Howell is the Commander's girlfriend, okay, and the Commanders are about to go on spring break. You're either fully bought in to Sam. So the draft is spring break, okay. As a Commanders, you're either marrying this girl or you're splitting ways. You can't go to spring break in the middle. You got to go to spring break married or single. So NFL draft is coming up. We don't need to have this question. Is Sam Howell the guy? Is Sam Howell not the guy? We need to address it immediately. We're either marrying Sam Howell or we're kicking him to the curb. I have no idea what we're going to do. I think we're going to keep him, but we'll see.
There you go. Ward thinks 14's the guy. That's all I wanted to hear.
I think 14's the guy.
My favorite hypothetical draft situation, Ward, is the Bears getting the 1 and 2 pick and drafting both Caleb Williams and Drake May and keeping Justin Fields and just, damn it, we're going to get a franchise quarterback between one of them.
Yeah. But, dude, I will say, speaking of the Commanders, I will say I've been talking a lot about Eric Bieniemy all year. I do think as of right now, they are completely cleaning house. Everybody's gone. Everybody all the way from the GM down.
That's interesting because at the beginning of the year, Bieniemy was the head coach in waiting.
As of right now, if they were Ron Rivera's been so bad, if our ownership group had that much, if they had that much interest in Bieniemy and they had that much, I'm losing words for it right now, but he would already be that guy.
Yeah,
They would put him in that situation.
Exactly.
If they were that confident in him, that's the word I'm looking for. But the way our offense has been playing lately, man, it's just we started out great, not looking good now. I do think there's a good chance that they completely clean house.
Yeah.
Who do they bring in? I'd hate to say it, but I hope that man that is leading the black and gold gets fired.
You're big on this, man. I don't see it happening.
I hope y'all.
Let me say on record, the only way Mike Tomlin is not the Steelers head coach is if Mike Tomlin decides he doesn't want to be the Steelers head coach anymore.
Well, I keep hearing about all these different trades for coaches. How much would we have to get up to get Mike Tomlin?
There's only one trade I would do. Me, if I'm the GM, there's only one trade I would do for Mike Tomlin.
Who's that?
I would call the LA Chargers and I would say, you give me Justin Herbert, I'll give you Mike Tomlin.
Wow, that's it.
That's the only one. That's the only. I don't care if the Commanders offered me 3 first-rounders. I'm not taking it.
Wow.
No, sir. I'm a Mike Tomlin believer till the day I die.
Yep.
And I promise you, Art Rooney will not fire that man. On record, on the podcast, he will not be fired. The only time Mike Tomlin will not be the head coach is when he decides he doesn't want to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore.
On record, Cam Taylor says Mike Tomlin's him.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah,
argue with the wall.
Yep.
This week, coming up in the NFL, talking about the Steelers. 2-point dogs at home at Heinz Field. Our boy Novak is going to be there.
Right.
If 8 plays, Steelers win. If Mason plays, Steelers lose. I think it's as cut and dry as that.
Dude, with the way Cam, I'm sorry, the way the Steelers have been playing the past couple weeks, give me the Bengals winning and covering.
Totally fine. I totally understand. This game, Ward, tell me if I'm wrong here. Is this not the 32nd ranked defense versus
the Jets have the 32nd ranked offense versus the Redskins' 32nd ranked defense. Somebody's got to give, Cam Taylor, and it's not going to be us, my friend. Give me the Jets winning, covering, doing what they got to do. We're probably going to lose this game so bad, Cam, that Aaron Rodgers is going to come in and take the final knee. He's going to come in all suited up and take the final knee. So, Jets winning, covering.
Yeah, I got JETS, Jets, covering the 3 against your Commanders. But it's always HTTR FC, FTC, always, till we die. Cowboys, Dolphins. Dolphins are 1.5-point favorites. A lot of points going to be scored in this game.
Yes.
I like the Dolphins to win and cover here.
Well, I'm really curious about what happens in this game, Cam, because neither one of these teams can beat good teams. I mean, the Cowboys did with the Eagles, but outside of the Eagles, the Cowboys have beat one team with a winning record, and that's the Seahawks. Same with the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't beat good teams. So, you know how I feel about Dallas. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, man. Our boy KB, huge Cowboys fan. I saw that run defense last week. I think I'm going to rock with the Dolphins, who have 2 incredibly explosive running backs. Also, shout out Kendall Lamb, friend of the program, Butler grad, starting at left tackle for the Miami Dolphins the past 2 weeks. Film breakdown. He went to App State.
Nice.
Yeah, so breakdown coming on him soon, but friend of the program, one of my good friends, a guy who helped me in high school as he was already a pro. So always going to be a huge Kendall Lamb fan. Couldn't be happier that he's starting for the Dolphins.
No.
Game of the week, boy. Game of the week. Ravens travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, who are 5-point favorites.
Woo!
And Rashard Mendenhall had a tweet this week about the if we went an all-white team versus an all-black team. This is as close as we're going to get right here. I like the Ravens a lot. I think they win this game. And the only reason I say that is because when you don't play this team twice a year, it's hard to game plan for them. So for that reason, I'm going to go Ravens.
I'm opposite of you, Cam. I think the Raiders are good, but just like the Raiders are good almost every year, I just don't believe in the hype, man. I don't believe in the hype as of right now. I think the 49ers are always really good too, and they do always get beat in the playoffs. But give me the Niners, dude. I think the Niners I think they outskill the Ravens at the end of the day. I think quarterback is pretty even, but you look at running back, you got to give the position, you got to give it to the Niners. Wide receiver, you got to give it to the Niners. Offensive line, you got to give it to the Niners. Mark Andrews is not playing, so tight end, you got to give it to the Niners. Defense, I think defense go hand in hand. But as of right now, I got to take Niners, Cam. I'm sorry.
I agree with everything except Lamar and Purdy being close.
I mean, you look at MVP rankings right now, brother. Hey, I'm speaking MVP wise.
Yeah, I'm speaking watching football. 8 is 10 times better than 10. Let me just but that's an argument for another day. We'll talk about that in the off season when we don't have anything else to talk about. Real quick, as we kind of wrap up the show here, we got picks of the week. I'm gonna rattle through Bam's bad beats. I've got Colts money line versus the Falcons. It's even money right now. Even though the Falcons are 1-point favorites, which is weird. In men's hoops, Baylor versus Duke play tonight. The over-under is set at 153, so nobody's going to get this bet in. Bama and Arizona play. The over-under set at 176. I'm taking the over. And then college football, James Madison, 1.5-point favorites versus Air Force. They've had an incredible season. I'm rocking with the Dukes, though. And then I don't care that they are playing with their third-string quarterback. No Caleb Williams, no Malachi. Give me the USC Trojans money line over the U of L Cardinals plus 240, 2.5 to 1.
Louisville?
Yeah.
College football? I thought Louisville played. Okay, never mind. I read that wrong. I thought Louisville played somebody. Is that tonight or is that this weekend?
Yeah, it's this week.
Oh, no shit. I thought Louisville played somebody else. I was getting something mixed up. Anyway, Cam, I like it. I do want to ask really quick, college basketball wise, UConn, do you believe the hype or not?
Yeah, man, they're incredible. They're a really good team. They brought back a lot of guys outside of their best player. Hard to win 2 titles back.
Yeah. I mean, UConn's really good. What about Arizona? Or not Arizona? Yeah, Arizona. Are they?
Arizona's awesome. I like Arizona.
So Arizona has a chance to
make
a Final Four. Okay,
they can make a run for sure.
I keep hearing people talk about these teams. I wanted to ask you. And did UConn win it last year?
Yeah, they won the national championship.
That's what I thought. I always forget, man.
And the only reason I say like it's tough to win, like we've only seen one team do it in our life, win back to back.
Who was that? Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Back in the day.
Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer, all those guys. But yeah, that was Bam's bad beats. Ward, I know you got some Fade Wade picks of the week here.
Yep, Fade Wade picks of the week here. Back at it. Cam, I didn't hear the Phil and Frisky pick of the week, so I'm kind of upset a little bit. But anyway,
I missed that. Phil and Frisky was the USC money line over Louisville.
Nice. All right, Fade Wade pick of the week. First off, Dolphins, Cowboys. Give me the over. A lot of offense in that game. Second off, Cam, I don't usually talk about basketball much on here, but men's basketball, number 23 ranked Duke, I think, or 23 ranked Duke, plays number 10 ranked Baylor tonight. I think Duke's going to beat the hell out of Baylor. I think you are going to see the difference between ACC and Big 12 basketball. So give me the Blue Devils and run it again with Duke. Cam, I really don't care that much about Duke, but Troy, Duke, blah, blah, whatever bowl they're playing in. Give me Troy money line. I think they're going to beat the hell out of Duke. So, and the reason why I say that, Cam, is because as of 3 days ago, Duke's starting running back, 4-star, can't remember his name, just committed to the NC State Wolfpack. So, transfer portal wise, so he won't be playing. They're down to a third string quarterback. Not sure what's going on, big dog, but I'm taking Troy money line over Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what's going on. Their coach went to A&M. Manny Diaz took over that program. If you guys don't know, talk about a culture fit. Only reserves I have about that, Ward, is Troy's head coach John Summerall, who I'm a huge fan of, already left campus to go to Tulane. So
nice. Okay.
Troy without a head coach. Duke with
Troy. Is Tulane a bigger school than Troy?
Yeah,
for sure. Okay.
Yeah. And it's where he's from. It's New Orleans. He's from Southwell, Alabama. So
Good for him.
It is definitely an upgrade of a job for sure.
Good for him.
I know you've got a pet peeve of the week. I'm out on pet peeve of the week. I'm living life, baby. It's Christmas week. There's nothing to be complaining about.
Yeah, man, I'll be real quick. Toured the house today, and beautiful house, but it smelled like cig smoke. And don't smoke cigs in your house, man. At James Fry, don't smoke cigs in your house. But anyway, yeah, that's my
Cigars are fine. Cigars are fine, just not cigarettes.
Yeah, so that's my pet peeve of the week.
Well, awesome, man. That was episode 36, and I know I said it just about every episode. I cannot believe we've had 36 episodes of the FatKatz podcast.
Give me a fist bump, brother.
Let's go, baby.
The boys are getting up there. The boys are 36 episodes in. We're getting old. We're getting good at this.
We're about to have a mid podcast crisis. We're almost there. Midlife crisis.
We're almost at 50, big dog. We're gonna have just like UFC 100, UFC 200, UFC 300. We're gonna have to throw a FatKatz 50 party.
Well, the good news is we about can say whatever we want right now because nobody makes it this far in the episode. Yeah. But I do want to remind you, if you did make it this far,
real quick before I do cut you off, I figured out how to post on Apple Music now. So if you can resend me your login info, I can figure because I know how to access it from my computer now without dragging in. So I think we'll be able to find it and get it all posted up.
All right. Well, me and Tucker are going to hold you to that.
Yeah. So. Breaking news: we might have found out Apple Music or Apple whatever the fuck it's called. It's called. Excuse me.
Dang, man. Golly. Before we get out of here, I want to remind you guys, find us on Apple now, apparently. Spotify.
We'll see. Tentatively Apple, but Spotify and YouTube for sure.
Type in the FatKatz Podcast, KATZ. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at FatKatz Pod. Merry Christmas. Happy National Signing Day. Ward, I love you, brother. You're the best podcast host in the world.
Hey, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Peace, brother.
Peace.